Hello, beautiful souls. Today I shall speak about purity of the heart. In order for this to be understood, I will share a piece of my own life when I was a child. My grandmother was someone with the sweetest hearts ever. The kind of person that would cry for just about anything. Many things would trigger her emotional core and just cry. She was never ashamed for crying, even if she was told that this was her weakness, that she was too soft, too emotional, too dramatic, or too weak. But the truth is that only the purest of hearts would be able to do that. Someone with an intuition so powerful that if someone was murdered or abused miles away from her, she was able to pick up these emotions, rage as well as suffering, anger, lamentations, deception, all of it. She was able to process this remotely without having it right in front of her. This ability is not human, and it is lost even among shamans right now. An ability so powerful, a technology so unique of the human engineering as well as celestial engineering. This is one of the most precious things, hearts, however you call it, that this world has ever seen. And yet, this is exactly what this world hunts. It demonizes it, it turns it into something ugly, something sinful, something destructive, and harvested over and over and over. Now there was something I also saw in my grandfather. He was what you would call your typical macho man. And by macho man, I don't mean what is in the internet. I don't mean the whole thing about just what's in the media. Not everything is truth in the media, as we all know it, and not everything is false either. Despite he being unable to express his own feelings, because probably he was never taught how to love, how to express his own emotions, he saw this in her, and this is the part that he cherished the most. Because a heart that is able to feel at this level is the highest form of strength, especially for someone who learns to alchemize emotions. Alchemy of the highest order takes advantage of emotional things such as the human engineering. God was never wrong when he made humanity. He knew that anyone who was born as a human and could actually master himself or herself would certainly become someone very, very powerful beyond imagination. We are witnessing this right now with the earth angels. Now, for those beautiful divine feminines, I know there are very few. I have only seen one, and I'm not talking about me. There is one of you among many who has the very same heart that I saw in my grandmother, the same abilities, the same potential. And maybe your intuition is not at the level that my grandmother had. However, the potential is there because you are of the same clan as mine, the same bloodline. But much of your potential is still locked, sealed, and hidden. Now this world hunts that, destroys that, and harvests that. It has been a trap for a very long time because as long as someone is um, in this trap of thinking that having such heart is a weakness, they are able to harvest this energy. They are able to weaponize this precious heart against ourselves. This is why this world does not deserve what it has. It has never deserved it. Maybe the first humans. But after the first humans, humanity turned into something disgusting, ugly, undeserving of anything that is sacred and divine. This heart is the base form to develop the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the power of the sun and the power of the moon. This world has never deserved the sun nor the moon. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are all sacred and divine, as the name suggests. But this world does not deserve either. This trap, we must shift our mindset. If you do, in fact, have this kind of hearts, maybe I haven't seen you, I don't know. Develop it further. Allow your feelings to flow. You are human and there is sacredness in being human. We can only hate, reject being human when we are incapable of comprehending our own nature. When we don't understand that within that which is pain, suffering, there is power in it, sacred power. Every tear becomes alchemy. Every bit of pain, every bit of suffering, every struggle becomes raw strength. Even our own ignorance can become wisdom. This is why this world has created the perfect trap for humanity to stay stuck on a loop and not evolved. Because as long as humanity learns to demonize and reject this and remain vulnerable on its own nature, it can easily be harvested, manipulated, can kept ignorant, fearing its own powers, its own abilities, fearing its own nature. True powers, true divine ability is your birthright, as it is mine. Unless you reject your own nature, you are all of this. And anyone who comes into your life not able to honor that, to see that, to nurture that, should never be anywhere near your life. You should reject those. You should stay away from anyone who is not capable of understanding how precious that is. A heart that feels this way possesses the highest form of love, that which many call divine love, can only be achieved through such a heart. Without this ability, without this heart, divine love will never be possible. Not for humanity, not for a demon, not for any being. It's not possible. This is why this world created this trap. So that as long as you demonize this nature, as long as someone is able to make you feel bad for feeling, for crying, for just about anything, even for the pain that is not yours, even for the pain, the suffering that is miles away from you. Your heart is precious beyond the comprehension of this world. A very, very precious treasure. And if this world cannot protect that, nurture that, honor that, make it irrelevant to you, they should have always been irrelevant, because they are the enemy. This world has never been anything less than an enemy to everything that is sacred and divine. The divine masculine and the divine feminine has always been hunted, rejected, abused, and torn to pieces at the soul level. Therefore, we can help whenever we are able to, but we should never walk forward thinking that we belong to this world. That's not true. That's also another trap. We don't belong to this world. We never did and never will, because this world refuses to heal, refuses to see its own nature. And as long as this world does that, we cannot be the same. Not now nor ever. This is why we must shift our mindset. We are irrelevant to a world that makes or turns the sacred into something sinful. Well, I think I did a good job reviewing this today. Good luck discerning that.